Welcome fellow nerds and pop culture aficionados. Buckle up because we're about to dive headfirst into the twisted, swampy world of horror icon Victor Crowley. If you've ever wondered what makes this hatchet-wielding bayou boogeyman tick, you've come to the right place. In this video, we're going to dissect Victor Crowley's anatomy like never before. And no, we won't be using a scalpel or going in with chainsaws. Just kidding. From his gnarly appearance to his liking for creative kills, we'll explore every gruesome detail that makes this slasher legend one for the ages. But hold on to your seats because this ain't your grandma's anatomy class. We're here to make learning about Victor Crowley as interesting as it is terrifying. So get ready to cringe and maybe even scream a little as we unravel the mystery behind the maniac with the hatchet. Let's get started. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. Who is Victor Crowley? What does he look like? Once upon a time, deep within the eerie Honey Island swamps of New Orleans, there resided a family with a chilling backstory. Thomas and Cheyenne Crowley were the unfortunate protagonists in this tale. Cheyenne, suffering from a rare stomach cancer, required constant care from her nurse, a woman named Lena. But when the night fell, a forbidden romance blossomed between Thomas and Lena, hidden from Cheyenne's watchful eyes. On the fateful day of Cheyenne's demise, something unfortunate happened. When she was on the deathbed, she caught them kissing. In a fit of rage, she cursed Lena's unborn child and she died. Months later, Lena gave birth to a child afflicted with tumors disease, and her shock upon seeing him was fatal for her. Thomas, haunted by guilt, concealed the child, Victor, from the world, secretly nurturing his deformed son. But destiny took a turn one Halloween night. A gang of mischievous trick-or-treaters descended upon the Crowley house, their intentions malevolent. Taunts and sparklers flew, igniting chaos. In the chaos, Victor, now grown, found himself trapped inside the burning house, his panic intensifying. His father, Mr. Crowley, rushed home just in time to witness the inferno. Armed with a hatchet, he hacked fiercely at the door to save his son, unaware of Victor's position. Tragically, the hatchet struck Victor's head, leaving him with a scar that marked his face forever. Heartbroken, Mr. Crowley passed away soon after, leaving Victor with a gruesome nickname, Hatchet Face. But the story didn't end there. Victor had a different destiny awaiting him. Revived and trapped in the night he died, he roamed the shadows surrounding his home, his anguished cries echoing through the wilderness as he searched for his long-lost father. The legend of Victor Crowley began to spread like wildfire throughout the New Orleans area, etching his name into the dark annals of regional lore. Now, as we venture into the world of Victor Crowley's appearance, we find a man born with grotesque deformities. His head is adorned with hair except from the barren top, his chin and jawline stretch and warp unnaturally, with one cheekbone seemingly missing, a cataract or pallor mortis clouds one of his eyes, casting a pallor upon him. But most strikingly, the hatchet wound, a cruel reminder of his tragic encounter with his father, etches a twisted scar across his face. When it comes to fashion, Victor's choices are simple and utilitarian. He dons jean-style overalls and sturdy black boots, a reflection of his rugged existence in the swamps. It's a look that's as distinctive as the man himself. And that's the tale of Victor Crowley, a character whose life is as twisted as the swampy bayous he calls home, and whose appearance is as haunting as the legends that surround him. Why did Victor choose to kill people? Now let's get inside a head, or what's left of it, of the infamous swamp-dwelling murderer Victor Crowley. You see, Victor isn't your roadside killer, he's a whole different breed of psycho. Sure, he's got your typical psychopathic and sociopathic traits, but he takes things to a whole new level of sadistic. Victor's only glimpse of humanity, believe it or not, shines when he's with his dear old dad. He's like the ultimate daddy's boy. But step out of that small bubble and you're in for a world of hurt. Rage? Oh, he's got that in spades. Anger, confusion, and pain are practically his middle names, and they've been there before and after his untimely death. What sets Victor apart, though, is his love for inflicting pain and death. Yep, you heard it right, he enjoys it. This guy doesn't flinch when his victims try to fight back. In fact, it's almost like he gets a kick out of it. But don't think for a second that he's picky if you don't put up a decent fight. He is just fine with that too. Now, to understand why he is the way he is, let's rewind a bit to Victor's pre-murderous days. He was a shy kid tucked away from the world world because of that charming facial deformity of his. But there was one shining light in his life, his dad. They had a bond that could melt your heart. But then death came calling and Victor took a one-way trip to the afterlife. From then on, he became a spirit hell-bent on making anyone who dared set foot in this swampy domain to pay the price. And oh boy, did he make them pay. Victor doesn't just kill, he mutilates. Some say he's trapped in the night he died, believing he is only defending himself or avenging his old man. But let's be clear, most of the folks he lays his hatchet on are innocent bystanders. So let's agree, Victor Crowley is the master of sadistic mayhem. Does he have supernatural ability? Let's cut to the chase. Victor Crowley isn't your average boogeyman. He's got some seriously supernatural stuff going on. First off, the guy's got strength and abilities that make even the Incredible Hulk look like a pushover. It's a one-of-a-kind sight to watch Victor in all his gruesome glory, effortlessly tearing his victims limb from limb with his bare hand. Yeah, he doesn't need fancy gadgets or weapons. His mitts are lethal enough, and if that's not enough to give you nightmares, he's been known to lift fully grown folks over his head like it's leg day at a gym. But don't go thinking he's invincible. Victor might be a supernatural spirit, but he's not bulletproof. If you come at him with guns a-blazing or a well-placed whack with a baseball bat, you'll eventually send him packing to the great beyond. He's like a horror movie boomerang. Knock him down and he'll pop right back up, ready for another round of mayhem. Undead and unbothered, that's Victor for you. Now, talking about his sixth sense, Victor's got a nose for trouble, and I mean that literally. He can sniff out hiding prey in the swamp faster than you can say sweat drop. Think you can sneak past him? Think again. Just ask poor Sabrina, who found out the hard way that even a single bead of sweat hitting the floor was enough to give away her hiding spot. Well, we will discuss this in detail later on in the video. But here's the icing on this supernatural cake. Victor's got infinite stamina. Yep, you heard me right. This guy doesn't know the meaning of fatigue. Chasing and hunting down his victims? Child's play. He doesn't need food, water, or sleep. He's like the Energizer Bunny from hell, and he'll keep going and going and going. Can Victor regenerate if someone cut him in half? Don't forget, we are in the freaky world of Victor Crowley. Now, it's time to dig into his supernatural durability and regeneration. This guy's like a horror movie version of a cockroach. You just can't get rid of him. Just in case you've got Victor in your sights and you're thinking of pulling off some fancy ninja move to slice him in half, well, bad news for you, my friend. Victor's body is supernaturally enhanced, and that means he's practically indestructible. Shoot him, stab him, heck, even try to hack him in half. It won't do a darn thing. Why, you ask? Because Victor's got his nifty regeneration trick up his tattered sleeve. You could swear he's got a personal hotline to the Undead HQ. Cut him in half, and he's just gonna stroll on back to his creepy, swampy home, fully healed and ready for round 2. It's like all the damage you did never even happened. He's the ultimate reset button, erasing all the punishments you dished out. Hence, he is the guy who laughs in the face of dismemberment and comes back for more. How many people has he killed? Alright, horror aficionados, it's time to talk numbers. The grisly body count that Victor Crowley has racked up over the years. Unless you've been living under a rock, you'll want to pay attention to this one. Now, Victor Crowley isn't exactly a household name, but he's the star of the Hatchet series, an indie gem that's a loving nod to the classic slasher flicks we all know and love. The first installment hit screens in 2006, and it was like a breath of fresh, blood-soaked air for horror fans. It managed to pay homage to the slasher genre while throwing in a dash of Scream-style self-awareness. A win-win, right? The Hatchet franchise didn't stop at one movie. It gave us 3 sequels, each more gruesome than the last. In total, Victor Crowley's kill count? Well, let's just say it's somewhere in the ballpark of a whole lot. We're talking gore galore, my friends. Imagine faces meeting boat motors and heads exploding, courtesy of defibrillators. Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. Does he have superhuman senses? As we mentioned before, this guy has got a sixth sense. They'll send shivers down your spine. First up, we've got his spatial awareness. Victor's been chilling on his tiny island swamp for years, and in that time, he's developed a knack for knowing exactly where potential victims are lurking. It's like he's got a GPS built into his twisted brain. Whether you're a Jack Cracker or just some innocent fisherman setting up shop, Victor's got your number, even if you're just minutes or hours away from becoming his next target. But it doesn't stop there. Oh no, Victor's got a hearing scoring game that's off the charts. Case in point, remember Sabrina? Victor heard a single drop of sweat hitting the ground. Yep, you heard it right, a tiny, innocuous drop of sweat, and what did he do? He immediately turned around and hurled his hatchet in the precise spot where that sweat landed. That's how precise his senses are. He's the swampy, savvy sensation with senses that'll make your average superhero jealous. Is he more powerful than Jason Voorhees? Alright, horror buffs, it's time for the ultimate monster mashup. Victor Crowley versus Jason Voorhees. Who's the real heavyweight in a gruesome showdown? Let's break it down. Now, if we're talking pure power and resilience, Jason takes the cake. I mean, the guy's got a rap sheet that's wilder than a roller coaster. He survived drowning, hanging, stabbings in the head. We're talking about 25 to 30 times. Shoulder injuries, leg injuries, groin kicks, and pretty much anything you can throw at him. Even as a vengeful spirit, he's practically unkillable. Bullets, stabbings, explosions, decapitations, dismemberment, you name it. He's been through it. He's got superhuman strength and durability and can even teleport for that extra dash of creepiness. Stealth, you'd be surprised how sneaky a guy like him can be. But Victor Crowley doesn't quite measure up to Jason in terms of feats. Sure, he's got the muscle and some supernatural mojo, but he's got some catching up to do when it comes to the sheer legend of Jason Voorhees. While Victor Crowley is vicious, creative, and certainly ugly, he's got some work to do to match Jason's legacy. Jason's a pop culture icon, recognizable even to your grandma. His hockey mask is a Halloween staple and has been parodied in various shows and movies. The guy's practically a household name. On the other hand, Victor Crowley might be a hidden gem for die-hard slasher fans, but he's not exactly as popular as Jason. He lacks the mainstream recognition that Jason enjoys. Jason's legacy is so strong that fans have even taken matters into their own hands, creating fan films, while we wait for another official movie. So in the battle of power, Victor Crowley holds his own, but when it comes to legacy and recognition, Jason Voorhees is the reigning champion. Kane Hodder himself, the man behind both Jason and Crowley, even sided with Victor in a Reddit Q&A, citing his unpredictability. But hey, that's the beauty of horror. Anything can happen. Can he reproduce? Now let's get one thing straight, my fellow nerds. Victor Crowley isn't in the business of making babies. Nope, his thing is more along the lines of making people scream in terror. There's no record of him getting cozy with anyone, let alone having kids. This guy's sole purpose in life, or afterlife if you will, is to hack, slash, and dismember anyone who dares set foot in his swampy domain. So while he might have a knack for leaving a trail of blood and guts, you won't find any baby Crowleys running around. Thank goodness for small favors, right? He immortal? Alright, fellow nerds, let's tackle the question that's been haunting our nightmares. Is Victor Crowley immortal? The short answer? Yep, he's got a one-way ticket to immortality, and it's not the sparkly vampire kind. Victor's not your average villain. He's a revenant, a vengeful spirit type. This means that no matter how many times you try to put him down, he's got a knack for bouncing back. Mayor Beth Dunstan once took a swing at him, and yeah, she killed him, but that's just a minor inconvenience for our boy Victor. He pops right back to life at his creepy, swampy home, ready for another round of gruesome mayhem. Marvelous verdict. After diving deep into the world of Victor Crowley, I can confidently say this guy is the Michael Phelps of swamp-dwelling killers. We've dissected his gruesome origins, explored his weapon of choice, hatchet envy anyone, and marveled at his relentless resilience. Victor Crowley isn't just a slasher icon, he's a testament to the enduring appeal of horror. So as we wrap up this crash course in Crowleyology, remember to keep your distance from Louisiana bayous, avoid hatching-wielding psychopaths, and never underestimate the power of a good old-fashioned horror franchise. Whether you're a die-hard Crowley fan or just dipping your toe into the murky waters of the genre, one thing's for sure, Victor Crowley's anatomy might be a mess, but dissecting his legacy is a nerdy thrill that'll leave you screaming for more. So, stay spooky, my friends. If you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.